Hey there, it's another beautiful day. I mean, it is cloudy and gray, and we got a 20% chance of thunderstorms, but it's still a beautiful day. Today, we're going to talk about Nostradamus. Let's watch some stuff.
Michel de Nostradame, also known as Nostradamus, was a French astrologer, apothecary, physician, and reputed seer. He is best known for his book Les Prophéties, a collection of 942 poetic quatrains allegedly predicting future events. Nostradamus began making prophecies about 1547, which he published in 1555 in a book entitled Centuries. The work consisted of rhymed quatrains grouped in hundreds, each set of 100 called a century. He is credited with accurately predicting pivotal events in history, from the French Revolution to the rise of Adolf Hitler to the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001 and even the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. Nostradamus made many predictions regarding this earth before his death in 1556 AD, and almost 70% of his predictions have proved to be true.
I know I've said this before, but every time I talk about Nostradamus, it reminds me of that movie that I saw. It was like in the 80s or the early 90s, I think. I was a kid, and I just remember vividly like this gray cloud sweeping over, like just stuff. It was the East Coast, right? Just sweeping everything out, just mowing it all down. And then afterward, there was like this image of flowers growing. So it was like after the tragedy, new life starts again. And it terrified me. Like I haven't even seen it since because it scared me so much. And every time I think of Nostradamus, my heart goes pitter patter because I remember that and it was scary. Now, that being said, 70% of his predictions have come true so far. So now you know why I think of that and I go, hey, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's terrifying. It's scary. It's scary. But today, we're going to take a look at a lot of his stuff. So let's get into it. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. If you're having a good time, won't you hit that like button for me? It'll really help out my channel. And if this is your kind of content, won't you hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every
Nostradamus's prophecies. The 1500s French scientist Nostradamus wrote the following in his 1555 book: "In the year of the new century and 9 months, 2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis." This very strangely coincides with the actual event of 9/11. The event occurred in the 9th month of 2001, the new century, just as Nostradamus said. And even more strange, he very accurately described the event, saying 2 steel birds will hit a city, which closely resembles the airplanes striking the towers of New York. If this really was written in the 1500s, how is this possible? Nostradamus claimed to make his predictions based on astronomical observations, that is, studying patterns and messages found in the stars. However, upon closer investigation, it appears that Nostradamus may have been more of a popular figure than a scientist. He wrote a great deal of prophecies, most of which were vague and easily misinterpreted. Thus, many scientists believe that his 9/11 prophecy, as well as other prophecies tied to the rise of Hitler and Napoleon, may have really been mistranslated jargon. What do you think?
So personally, when it comes to astrology, it's a no-go for me. I just am like, no, I don't believe that the stars tell us a story of the future or anything like that. That's just my personal belief. I know a lot of people really, really have like a lot invested in astrology, and that's your jam. I get it. That's cool. Me, not so much. The fact that the words Nostradamus wrote can be attributed to the events that happened on 9/11 are very interesting. The way that they have been translated. Like, I feel like it's a real loose translation, and we don't know until after an event happens and we look at it and we go, hey, look at that. Did you see that? It says this, and this is what happened. Let's kind of say this is what he predicted. And I understand, a lot of people go in, having a lot of faith in those particular things because yeah, it's kind of a trip when somebody from 500 years ago wrote some crap down and we look at it and we go, holy crap, that just happened. So it's a little difficult to invest in, really. It's in hindsight, looking at things that had happened going, hey, that makes sense. Is a little more, like, wow, than looking into what he did say and trying to predict what's going to happen tomorrow.
Prediction, Part 2. After the demise of the Queen, one of Nostradamus's biggest experts, Mario Reading, revealed that the future teller had predicted the exact year of the Queen's passing in his poem. Nostradamus also predicted that an unexpected person will take over the British's rule after King Charles abdicate the throne. Nostradamus claimed that Prince Charles will become the king, but his reign will be short, due to the resentment held against him by a certain population following the divorce from Diana, Princess of Wales, and his age. King Charles will be forced to abdicate the throne, and Prince William will not take over the place of England's monarch after. This will automatically make Prince Harry the king. That would make him King Henry IX.
This has been a big story, especially as of late, especially with King Charles's diagnosis, like he's not well. And with Kate's diagnosis as well. It kind of, scoots them aside a little bit, and Prince Harry is looking, a little popular in this particular prophecy.
Century 2, Quatrain 5. That which is enclosed in iron and letter in a fish, out will go one who will then make war. He will have his fleet well rowed by sea, appearing near Latin land. In this mysterious quatrain, something or someone significant, perhaps a message or a leader, is hidden within an ironclad vessel. This entity emerges to wage war, equipped with a formidable fleet, suggesting preparedness for extensive naval engagements. This scenario hints at a cycle where the emergence of a warlike figure leads to an escalation of military activity, potentially affecting the Latin lands. Conversely, if the emergence of this war-prone figure or entity were averted, or their intentions changed, it could lead to a de-escalation of military preparations. This change in stance might avert potential conflicts near the Latin lands, thus disrupting a cycle of war and aggression.
So follow along with me here. A fleet well rowed by sea will appear near Latin land. What does that make you think of? Putin's crap down here in frickin' Cuba, right? He's got ships, he's got submarines, he's got all his frickin', his navy is just chilling in Cuba doing friggin' stuff. I mean, it's not the whole thing, I know, I get it, I'm exaggerating, but still, Putin's crap is here, right? So a leader hidden within an ironclad vessel, right? Equipped with a formidable fleet. So he's got stuff down here. Maybe there's stuff inside his ship that we don't know about. Inside the ships that we don't know about. I mean, he does make nuclear weapons, right? Oh my God. What if they're set to do stuff and he's just sending them out here oh no, they're fine. But they're loaded with stuff. That's kind of crazy. A little bit scary. And I'm probably overthinking it. But still, that is interesting.
Nostradamus saw in his future 3 men that he called antichrists. One was Napoleon, the second one was Hitler, and the third one is the one that is to come, who is said to be the worst of all because he will learn from the mistakes of the others. A very dangerous person. He didn't like the term Antichrist. He said it was a Christian term and it was not exactly what he meant. But he said if you think of Christ as representing people, humanity, then Antichrist is someone who does terrible things against humanity, against people. And it can be the type of personality like Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun, the type that doesn't care anything about what it's doing, it only wants power. So this is what he meant by an Antichrist. We have his horoscope. He was born on February the 4th, 1962, in Jerusalem, but he's not Jewish. Well, Nostradamus said, you must remember that in the beginning, this man will appear as a savior, the man with all the answers, the man with the golden tongue.
That is very, very specific. This person was born in Jerusalem on February 4th, 1962, and is well-spoken. I don't know who that is. Does anybody have any ideas who that might be? I've looked up a few people that I thought it might have been, and I was wrong. It said they don't have the same birthday. I mean, a little close, but not quite, and I don't think they were born in Jerusalem. So if you've got any ideas, let me know.
In 1555, Nostradamus made 942 terrifying predictions. A lot of those prophecies have since come true. In 2024, he predicted that China would become the leader of the world both politically and economically. He also predicted we would see elected the last president of the United States. That's not all. He got very specific when he said the last American president would be black. did Nostradamus predict that Kanye West would become president?
I don't know about Kanye West. And China, they're not the superpower. They're not the leader of the world. I mean, we still do have 5 months left in this 2024. This particular video was posted back in 2023, and something interesting has happened ever since its posting. Joe Biden has dropped out of the running for the President of the United States, and now Kamala Harris is the leading Democratic nominee, and she is a black woman. That is very interesting, isn't it?
Dale Doomsday Theories, Part 18. You're not going to believe this one. This man right here is Nostradamus. He's a French astrologer who was known for his accurate predictions and prophecies. He predicted things like the Holocaust and World War II. In his book of prophecies, he talked about the end of the world coming in the year 1999, specifically in the month of July. He said, and I quote, "From the sky will come a great king of terror." Because of his past predictions, this actually got a lot of traction. People actually thought this was going to be the end of the world. Christians thought it would be the rapture, the second coming of Jesus, while the non-religious thought it was just a metaphor. Either way, they thought the world was going to end. But as we know, July 1999 came and passed, and there was no end of the world. Things went on as normal.
We shouldn't invest too much of our mental stock into the writings of Nostradamus. Yes, a lot of them have been translated, albeit rather loosely, into events that have occurred. But there is so much happening at any given moment that yes, any collection of words can represent what just happened, if you read it the right way. Now, in 1999, he predicted that the world was going to end. And obviously that hasn't happened, right? Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate every single second of your time. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.